Controls and everything. Make sure we straight. Oh. Contender regime boxing. Checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? We made it. A little late yet again, but we made it. You feel me, man? It's up. What's good? And you know we Merlot up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to my brother Skinny 2 Little Reacts in the building, man. Always, you know what I'm saying, pulling up on time, you feel me? Early, man. What's good, man? Appreciate you for coming through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know I'm a little late, man, but you know we gonna cook regardless. You feel me? Shout out to the brother Corey McGee in the building. Punch Perfect Boxing in the building. Salute. You know what I'm saying? My brother, man. What's happening? Jay Harris Too Real in the building. What's good? Let me make sure my boy Punch Perfect wrenched up around this motherfucker, man. Tex Rock in the building. Salute. What's good, man? What's going on? Said I see Bud winning by UD. Okay. Okay. Hey, man, we definitely gonna talk about it. And I know I said I wasn't gonna do like no prediction, but I mean, shit, we gonna get down to it by the end of this live. So you already know. But I like Bud by UD. That's a good pick. That's a logical pick. It makes sense. You know, you got data, film, and everything that you need to support that pick. So I respect it 100%. Man, he said, what's good? Shit, man, ain't nothing. You know what I mean? Everything good over here, bro. I'm blessed. I'm thankful. You know, happy it's Friday, man. We one night away from the big fight. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all doing well, too. Hope y'all week was good. You know, positive, successful. You feel me? I hope y'all had the best week, man. MJ Total Health and Wellness Enrichment in the building. Salute to you, my brother. What's good? Oh yeah, the face-off was lit. The face-off was lit. Hey, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and jump on into it, man. So, what was y'all thoughts on the weigh-in? You know what I'm saying? What was y'all thoughts on the weigh-in and the face-off? You know what I'm saying? What did y'all pull from that? Salute to the Queen, Simply Amira J in the building. I appreciate you for coming through. You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all go subscribe to Amira J, man. You know, if you're trying to get your workout on, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? You looking for a little vibe, you feel me, while you working out, man. Go check out Amira J. You dig what I'm saying? Shaquan in the building, salute. What's up, man? Yeah, they both look focused. They both look incredibly focused, man. And I'm loving the look that I see, you know, especially Terrence Crawford. I could always appreciate that dog, you know, that cold-blooded killer mentality look that Terrence Crawford always got in his eyes. I could always appreciate that. Shawn Porter looked extremely focused as well. Shawn Porter, to me, he looked like he ready to get to the fight. You know, some people try to make a big deal about him turning earlier than Terrence Crawford. You know, Terrence Crawford ain't gonna give no inch. He gonna look you in your eyes and he gonna stand there all night if he got to. You know what I'm saying? But Shawn Porter, one of those guys, man, you know, he ready to get to the fight. He like, you know, all this shit, it look good, it sound good, but man, you know, at the end of the day, it come down to what we gonna do in that ring. So, but I think both guys ready, bro. Said the crazy switch flipped in Bud. Yeah, for real. That crazy switch, it flipped on Bud. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bud ready. Bud a cold-blooded killer right now. You feel me? Bud is a cold-blooded killer right now. Salute to the Queen Neek J in the building. Appreciate you for coming through. Always good to have you here. For sure. You know what I'm saying? But both boxers, both guys look in extreme tip-top shape. It looked like they both had a great camp. I didn't see any signs of either guy having issues making weight. I mean, they look healthy, man. They look healthy and strong. And the crazy thing is, man, look, both of these guys is the same age. They born a month apart from each other. Both of them 34. I believe they still in their prime. I think Terrence Crawford is in the prime of his career. I think Shawn Porter is fighting the best he's ever fought in his career. You know, I think the skills and the knowledge has finally met up with his physical athleticism. all of those physical tools that he came into the game with and made a name for himself with, I think his skills is finally starting to match that. You know, and Terrence Crawford, man, he on a high right now. He done knocked out, what, 8 straight opponents. He's looking phenomenal right now. You know what I'm saying? So if this fight was going to happen, I think this is just the perfect time for this fight to happen, man. Perfect time for this fight to happen. Samuel Greer in the building. Salute. What's good? What's good, man? Corey McGee, what's good? Yeah, hit that like button. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to the brother Corey McGee telling y'all to hit that like button. You know, let me take a sip of Merlot on behalf of that. You know, but I can't wait for this fight. I'm seeing a lot of the same things that y'all saw in the weigh-in. I didn't really see no weaknesses. You know, I look into body language and stuff like that. And weigh-ins, I really pay attention to the health of a fighter. I really pay attention to, you know, do he look healthy? Do he look confident? Do he look strong? Those are the key things that I pay attention to at the weigh-in. You know, the face-off is important to me as well. But you also have to take into consideration the character of the guys that's in the face-off. You know, how they look or how they carry themselves in previous face-offs, and then how they carry themselves in this face-off. Is anything different? Is anything off? You know, but I didn't see any weaknesses in either of these guys, man. I think both of them are at their best right now. And you don't really get in today's age in boxing, you know, in this time, you don't really get a whole lot of fights like this. I know this ain't Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. We know it ain't that, but it's still a very, very good fight. And it's two guys that both believe they can win. They both in their prime, and they both fighting the best they ever fought in their career. You know what I'm saying? As far as the level that they're at in their career, they're both fighting their best. You know what I'm saying? So we don't get a whole lot of fights like this. You don't get a whole lot of matchups like this in boxing today. So it's a beautiful thing to see, and I think it's something to be appreciated. You know, it's something that we should appreciate. And even though I feel like these fights should happen more often, we shouldn't have to beg for fights like this in a perfect world. But when we do get them, you know, we got to appreciate this shit, man, because you don't see it that often. LaShawn Jones in the building. Salute to you, my brother. Said I love the vids, bro. Hey, appreciate it, dog. Appreciate your support. You know, good having you here, man. 100. And I love getting on here talking this boxing with y'all, man, for sure. D'Avian Bob in the building. Salute to you, my brother. What's good? What's going on? Bon Kui. Bonjour. Bonjour. What's good, man? What's going on? Said they both were their normal selves. That's the biggest thing that I took away from this text, Rock. And what that let me know is that the confidence is real. And I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't expect anything different. With Shawn Porter, when you look at his track record and you look at the guys that he's been in the ring with, I mean, come on now. He fought Errol Spence. He fought Errol Spence tooth and nail. You dig what I'm saying? That's one thing. But then he also been in there with everybody that I don't even have to name because y'all already know. I expected Shawn Porter to be supremely confident. I expected him to be in tip-top shape, consummate professional, always on point, doing everything right. You know, and I think that Shawn Porter is taking this fight extremely serious, man, and he got a chip on his shoulder as always. That don't necessarily give him any type of edge in the fight because, you know, that's how he come in every fight, in every big fight. That's how he approach it. But I expected Shawn Porter to bring that type of energy and just to be ready and look ready. You know, Terrence Crawford. This guy, I'm going to be honest with you. And this could be a testament to, well, part of it is definitely a testament to his ability and his skill, the fact that he really ain't been threatened in his whole career. Salute to the brother D Luckett in the building, man. Good to have you here. Shout out to the Queen Ashley's Corner in the building, man. Hey, y'all subscribe to Ashley's Corner too. You know what I'm saying? She always talking some good boxing shit over there, man. You know, but with Terrence Crawford, it's like you gotta put a lot of that really on his ability with him not being threatened in his career, not really having faced any like tough adversity or challenges. Now, a lot of that is the matchmaking as well. You know, the competition level has not necessarily been up to par. I think we can all agree to that. Whether you an extreme Terrence Crawford fan, or you just like Terrence Crawford, you just a regular fan, or you don't like Terrence Crawford, I think we can all agree that his level of competition hasn't been all that. So you gotta, throw a little bit of that in there as well, as far as him not really being challenged like that. But a lot of that is Terrence Crawford, man, he's just that good. So one thing that I always look at, and you can use this example like in football. When you got a great football team, man, they don't lose to the teams that they're not supposed to lose to. Great football teams go out there and they whoop on the motherfuckers that they supposed to whoop on. When you losing the teams that you shouldn't be losing to, that's a sign of weakness. That's a sign of, you not disciplined. You not focused on your shit. So when Terrence Crawford go out there and he whooping on motherfuckers and dominating the motherfuckers he's supposed to dominate, that's a sign of a strong fighter. That's a sign of a fighter that's, doing all the right things. When he don't have a fight and when he got a fight. When it's camp time, that's a guy that's really taking this craft serious. So I expect a fighter like that, when it is time to step up in competition, I expect him to bring that same level of intensity. So I was pleased with everything that I saw at the weigh-in from both guys, man. I'm expecting, a war. Nothing less. I'm expecting a war, man. Said Crawford versus Spence is a dream fight. You know what? Man? I don't know if it's just me. And it's crazy that you said that, those words, dream fight. I don't know if it's just me. But when I saw, and this shit started from the first press conference, but especially at the weigh-in, when both of these guys like in fight form and they got that energy, I couldn't help but picture taking Shawn Porter off of that picture and putting Errol Spence right there. I couldn't help but think of, damn, what it'd be like if that was Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence up there facing off at the weigh-in the day before the fight. Like, that shit really ran through my mind. I'm like, bruh, that shit really gonna be something crazy, dog. That shit really gonna be something crazy. Two killers. Two dogs. Like, I don't know if it's just me that was thinking that, bro. I literally, like, mentally and visually, I removed Shawn Porter, and I'm thinking like, bro, that's Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. I'm just picturing how that shit would be, you feel me? Like, the electricity that'll be running through the building, the energy that'll be running through motherfuckers' veins and shit as you watching that. You know what I mean? Anticipating the war that you gonna have. Man, that's really a dream fight. And that's something that is within our reach, man. They can make that shit happen. And I believe it's gonna happen, man. Salute to John Kramer in the building. What's good? Shout out to my brother Richard Dean in the building, man. Salute to you, man. What's good? The big homie, Big Tex 33 in the building. Salute to you, my brother. What's good? Appreciate you for pulling up. Vigilante Kato in the building. What's going on? Ashley's Corner said, do you know if Bud resigned? Well, there's been some news that released earlier this week that says that he won't resign with Top Rank. Now, and I mean, everything has been pointing to the direction that Team Crawford, they are legitimately done with Top Rank and they gonna go on and do their own thing. I don't know if he gonna sign with PBC, DAZN, or if he gonna be independent. I prefer him to be independent and do his own thing, but from everything that I know, he's not gonna re-sign with Top Rank. If he does, that's a whole nother conversation, and one that I'm really not ready to have right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to pour me 2 more glasses of Merlot to have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? But I'll tell you one thing though, something that would be interesting if he loses this fight. I think that's the most interesting thing. If Terrence Crawford loses this fight, it's possible that he might say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna stay with them and keep getting this guaranteed bread. But if he wins this fight, I think he dips out and he tries to make the Errol Spence fight. That's just what I'm feeling and what I'm getting from the situation. Baby Juju in the building, salute, said Bud knife round KO. Okay. Okay. So, you know, since the brother came out with his prediction, I'm going to get y'all's here in a minute. Salute to the brother Antonio Holmes in the building. What's good? Said, say, man, listen, I'm going to lose my spirit if that ever happens. I thought the same thing. Hey, for real, Nick J, like, man, I was just looking at, but it started at the first press conference. I was like, damn, I'm just imagining Earl Spence up there because I already know, I know both of them boys some killers. You feel me? And I know both of them got that real, like, that real energy where it's, hey, you gonna have to take me out because I'm not folding. I'm not laying down. You know what I'm saying? I can't go like that. I can't go like that. You feel me? So, man, that shit gonna be extraordinary. I can't wait. I can't wait. But let's go ahead and pop it off like this, man. What's y'all predictions right now? You know what I'm saying? After everything y'all saying, I know we put the poll up, and that was like the third Terrence Crawford and Shawn Porter poll I put up, but how y'all feeling right now? You know, sometimes people energy change after the weigh-in. How y'all feeling right now? You know what I'm saying? How y'all feeling about tomorrow night? Braden White in the building, salute. Jay Smith in the building, what's good? Said, how people saying Porter getting KO'd, but he never been. How? Hey, man, good question. Pool counter boxing in the building, salute. Said, I really think it could be a draw. I think that's possible. That's very, in my opinion, a draw is definitely not out of the question. I think that's possible for sure. My head saying Bud, but my gut saying Shawn Porter. Okay. Salute to the brother Big Tex 33 coming through in that super chat showing big love, man. He say, I want to see EJ jump in the ring and call out the winner. Yes, please. I would love that. I would love that. That, I don't care who win. That would cap off the night perfectly if EJ jump in the ring and call out the winner. That shit would cap off the night. And I know it's a top rank event, but I'm pretty sure they gonna see Big EJ out there, you know what I'm saying? You know, with that big boy jury on, you feel me? Walk up to the ring. Who gonna stop him? Who gonna say Big EJ can't get in the ring? Who gonna stop him? Ray Dunn in the building, salute, what's good? Said a draw is a good prediction, actually, for sure. Okay, let me see what y'all talking about. Okay, so I heard Crawford by UD. I think logically I have to say Bud, but bro, Porter might get that upset. I can actually see him stopping Bud. That right there is an unpopular opinion, but you onto something, bro. I've always said about this matchup, even before there was even any idea of this shit being realistic. I've always said that I like Shawn Porter's chances to get a stoppage if things go a certain way for him, you know, just because off of the styles and because I never really seen Terrence in there with a guy like this. I think that's an unpopular opinion that a lot of people not talking about, but it's a real deal chance that that could happen. Got Bud by UD. Salute to the brother Walter Lee in the building. What's good? ESPN ain't gonna let him do that. Aram won't either. If Aram's smart, he'll let him get in there. You know what I'm saying? But man, ain't nobody gonna stop Big EJ from getting in the ring. Nah, they on the cool though, since it is an ESPN top rank event, they probably gonna have some people like, they probably would. Cause you know, a lot of times those promoters and those networks and shit, they be setting that shit up. You know how they had when after Earl had fought Shawn, they already had Danny Garcia ready to get in the ring. They was like, oh yeah, you finna get in the ring next. Come on. They already had some lines for him to say and shit. Salute to the brother D Lucky in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said Porter took a deep breath at the start of the face-off. Looks like looks like nervous energy. I got Bud in 7. Bud looked like a killer. Says show him how it's done. Okay. Hey man, say D Lucky, man. That's a real Terrence Crawford fan right there for sure. You know what I'm saying? But he keep it 100 though. He don't be on no bullshit. He keep it all the way 100. You know what I'm saying? Just like how I fuck with EJ like that, you feel me? I'm gonna keep it 100. So I believe, when he say some shit like that, I believe him. I could see Bud getting a stoppage in 7. It's possible. Salute to the brother Pool Counter Boxing in that super chat coming through and showing love as well. He said EJ is all about truth and moving forward. Said that's why Crawford fans hate him. EJ don't lie. Said EJ don't lie about nothing. Big facts. You know, EJ the real deal. You know what I'm saying? He the real deal. And motherfuckers feel his energy, whether it's a face-off or they in the same room. It don't matter what it is. They feel Earl Spence energy. I know Terrence Crawford, when they met up backstage in Oklahoma at the Maurice Hooker fight, Terrence Crawford and his whole team, they felt Earl the True Spence Jr. energy in that room, man. They knew what the fuck was going on. They knew what was going on. They knew what was going on. Steel Mills Boxing in the building. Salute. Said I got Bud 8-4 or 7-5. We're going to see the best form of both fighters because they both have something to lose. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's another thing that people really not talking about. With Shawn Porter, of course, I think Terrence Crawford has a lot more to lose than Shawn Porter. I don't know who that really gives an edge to. It could be a motivational factor for Terrence Crawford to be even sharper than ever. For Shawn Porter, I think he has something to lose too as well because, you know, if he loses this fight, he probably won't ever get another opportunity for a championship. This is probably Shawn Porter's last opportunity for a world title. This is probably his last opportunity at doing something great in the sport of boxing. Because after this, if he go out there, he get beat. Even if he lose close, people going to be like, man, you know, Shawn Porter, he good, but he can never win a big one. You know, he can never get over that hump. So Shawn Porter got some things to lose as well, but I think Terrence Crawford definitely got more to lose, and that can play in the hands of both guys. You know, that can play in the hands of both guys. We definitely going to see, you know, how it shake out. Said I can't get over how open Shawn leaves himself when he darts in with that full step, half step, double jab, followed by the 2. Said Bud is the best at catching you coming in. I can only see a KO for Bud. Okay. Great analysis. Great analysis right there. You know what, man? I go back and forth about how I think Shawn Porter should approach this fight. You know, a lot of people think that he should just go in full force, full football mode, Shawn Porter, head down, smothering his shots and Terrence Crawford shots, making it a rough and tough fight. You know, vintage Shawn Porter. But then again, you know, I think about how far Shawn Porter has come, how much he's developed into an extremely skilled fighter, man. And when I say extremely skilled, man, I mean that shit. Because what I've seen from Shawn Porter over the course of the last 5, 6, 7 fights, man, I've seen so much maturation and so much improvement. A lot of the things that Shawn Porter do, it really gets swept under the rug because of his past and because of how he fought guys like Devin Alexander, how he went out there and mauled Paulie Malignaggi. You know what I'm saying? He went out there and mauled Adrian Broner and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But Shawn Porter has really gotten better, man. Salute to the brother Knockout Boxing 86 TV in the building. Hey, smash that like button, man. Yeah. Shout out to the brother, man. Appreciate you for coming through, for sure. AMG Sports in the building. Salute. What's good? But, you know, Shawn Porter really has developed into just an overall really skilled fighter. So I want him to also use those tools in this fight as well. Show me some of that, you know, that bouncing on your toes, in and out, mixing it up with the feints. I think he gonna have to mix it up in this fight. I don't think Shawn Porter should just fight one way. The thing is, and the key in my opinion, is when to do certain things. He gotta know when to, because historically, Terence Crawford, he fights off like kind of slow. The first 2 or 3 rounds, Terence Crawford really kind of start off a little slow. You know what I'm saying? So I think maybe Shawn Porter, he want to get out there, just get in his chest early, rough him up, see what that do. And then around the 3rd or 4th round, 4th or 5th round, when Terence Crawford really started getting his legs up under him, really start getting the timing down, then you want to mix it up a little bit. Like Terence Crawford said, when guys want to box Shawn Porter, he brawl. When guys want to brawl Shawn Porter, he box. Terence Crawford did say that he gonna be the first one to do whatever he wanted to do with Shawn Porter, and that we gotta see that. I think he's capable of doing that, but I don't think it's likely. I think if Terence Crawford gonna beat Shawn Porter, he gonna have to war with it. And we just gonna see how that play out. Salute to the brother Jay Harris, too real, in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said this fight is going to the cards. They both have so much to lose. Neither fighter is going out easy. This will be a dog fight. I agree 100%, bro. This is gonna be a dog fight for sure. You know what I'm saying? And I think both guys' chin gonna get checked in this fight. We know Shawn Porter got a really good chin. Solid chin. Yeah, he done been knocked down a couple of times, but you ain't never just really seen Shawn Porter just out of it. You ain't never just really seen him just extremely hurt. I think the hardest shot that he ever took was a shot versus Errol Spence. You can see, like, in that moment, like, he was legitimate, and he took a solid left hand from Errol Spence. And you can see that he was legitimately, like, his eyes rolled in the back of his head. He was shook. The shot versus Adrian Broner was more like a flash knockdown. And then he got a little stunned by Keith Thurman, but I don't think that really did much to him. But outside of that, man, Shawn Porter done showed you a solid chin, great punch resistance. He really showed you he could take a good shot. Terence Crawford, on the other hand, we've seen him hurt a couple of times. We've seen him have some unofficial knockdowns or suffer some unofficial knockdowns. And I think in this fight, man, you can have another one of those situations like the Gamboa fight. Even though he mentioned that he was a little green in that fight, we might have a situation. A shorter guy that has to get on the inside with fast hands like Gamboa had, who's a lot stronger and, in my opinion, a lot smarter fighter than Eureka's Gamboa was. But again, this ain't the same Terence Crawford from way back then either. So it's a lot of things to take into consideration. Salute to the brother Holy Inferno in the super chat coming through and showing love. Once again, said my arch enemy back at it again. But yeah, Crawford be getting caught early against low-level competitions. Big facts. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you for coming through. Yeah, with Terence Crawford, I think, Terence Crawford in this fight, he's going to be risking a lot starting slow early in this fight. He going to be risking a lot because, think about it, you got a guy in there like Shawn Porter who is always in shape, always has excellent conditioning, and he has a motor on him. His work rate is crazy. So if he get up early on the cards, if Shawn Porter get out there and he get up 3 or 4 rounds in the first 6 rounds, if Shawn Porter can win 4 of those first 6 rounds, it's going to be hard for Terence Crawford because Shawn Porter ain't going to do nothing but turn it up. He going to keep going. Now, one thing that Terence Crawford has shown us in the past, he can turn it up too. So, but Terence Crawford turning it up at that point, I think he going to be having to look for a knockout or something, or at least a knockdown. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be hard to get back in the lead on the scorecards if you let Shawn Porter get up rounds on you, because he ain't going to do nothing but keep doing what was working. And then as soon as you feel like you made an adjustment, he going to do something else. Shawn Porter is really good at controlling fights. I really haven't seen nobody just dictate the pace of a fight with Shawn Porter. You just don't do it. He has this niche and way that he goes about himself when it comes to controlling fights. You know what I'm saying? Controlling the pace of a fight. So if he get up early on you, I want to see how Terrence Crawford can make an adjustment to the adjustment and become the ring general. That's gonna be a key. Salute to the brother Pool Counter Boxing back in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said, you know what it is. He said, you know what, a sad contender. This is just a regular fight. They act like this fight decides something. You fight the best to get credit, not the worst. Hey, that's true. That's true. And that goes back to what I was saying in regard to us not really getting fights like this. You know, this is a really, really good fight. It's a great fight. But this is something that we should get more often. So, you know, I really appreciate this matchup because you got two guys, as I explained, where they both got something to lose. It's a lot on the line. Both in their prime, same age. They ready to go. And the fact that we don't get a whole lot of matchups like this, man, you know, the boxing world, the sport of boxing, the fans, man, we starving for shit like this. We supposed to get stuff like this more often. You know what I'm saying? Now, with Terrence Crawford, from his standpoint, you know, I definitely think he gets a lot of credit for Shawn Porter if he beats Shawn Porter, and if he does it in dominating fashion. I think he should get a lot of credit for this. I don't think this is like the Super Bowl of his career or nothing like that. We all know what that is. But at the same time, I definitely believe Terrence Crawford should get his credit for this fight, and especially Shawn Porter. He go out there and get that dub, man. This is huge for both guys, man. It's huge. Salute to the brother D Lucky back in that super chat coming through and showing love again. He said, I don't think he starts slow this fight. I think he gonna fight to outwork Porter. That's the only way you can do. That's the only way you can do what you want against Porter. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up, D Lucky. Let me take a sip of this Merlot on behalf of that. I'm glad you brought that up. I want to ask you, can Terrence Crawford really just change? Because I haven't really seen a fight where Terrence Crawford go out there and he turn it up early. You know what I'm saying? Go look at the Hank Lundy fight. You know what I'm saying? Hank Lundy was, you know, he really wasn't no match for Terrence Crawford at all. You know, yeah, he could switch hit and shit like that. But early on in that fight, you know, he was trying to give Terrence Crawford a little smoke. He was trying to give him a little smoke. But Terrence Crawford, him starting late, downloading data and just kind of really peeping the scene and measuring how he's going to attack, I think the right opponent can take advantage of that. And I really haven't seen Terrence Crawford just come out in fights and start early. Now, again, I've always been on record as saying that I think Terrence Crawford is one of the guys who has the ability to make in-fight adjustments. I think he has the ability to, him and Bo Mack has a great team with him. Great guys he can spar with, things like that. He has the ability to come up with a solid game plan and then implement it. Because a lot of these guys have coaches, they have good coaches and shit like that where they can formulate a good game plan, but when it comes down to actually incorporating that and execute, they can't do it. I think Terrence Crawford is capable, but I don't really see him starting early in this fight. I don't know. I think he can do it, but I don't really see Terrence Crawford just going out there. This is another reason why I think Errol Spence, and I ain't gonna jump to it too far ahead, but this is another reason why I think Errol Spence could get out early on Bud and make some mistakes mid to late round, and he get caught with something. You know, Earl, you go back and watch Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia. You seen how he came out in that first round, fresh off the accident. You know what I'm saying? Came out there popping that jab, coming forward, applying pressure. You know, if you starting late on somebody like Errol Spence, you in trouble. Same thing with Shawn Porter. If you starting late, that's why Errol Spence versus Shawn Porter was such a fantastic fight. Because both of them, from round one, they came out crazy. From round one, it was a war. You know, so with Shawn Porter, I don't necessarily think you have to match him early on. And like D Lucky, like you said, that's probably the only way that you can make him do what you want him to do. That's probably, but then at the same time, you still fighting Shawn Porter's fight. Salute to the Queen D in the building. I appreciate you for pulling up. So it's like a catch-22 with Shawn Porter. You know what I'm saying? Even if Terence Crawford goes out there and he starts this fight early and he applies pressure, let's say he tries to walk Shawn Porter down, you know, or he just picks up the intensity early, comes out, popping a jab. You know what I'm saying? No matter what Terence Crawford does, I really just can't see him controlling the pace of the fight early. I think there's going to be an opportunity for him to make an adjustment mid-fight. And then just after he's gotten a chance to kind of, and this is something that he does so well, after he's gotten a chance to really see what Shawn Porter is bringing to the table, you know, it's different when you actually in a ring with him. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong, these guys know each other from way back, but they never sparred before. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think, from what I know, Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter, they've never sparred before. So this would be the first time these guys, after knowing each other for so long, this would be the first time these guys has ever shared the ring together. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to take Terence Crawford some time, maybe 2-3 rounds, to really peep the scene out and see what the hell going on, kind of measure Shawn Porter's intensity, his hand speed. That's another underrated thing about Shawn Porter. Now, I think Terence Crawford has faster hands, but not by a whole lot. Not by a whole lot. Teddy Lee in the building, salute, says Southpaw won't work with Porter. It wasn't that easy for Spence. And you know what? When I did, I was really paying attention to Terence Crawford in camp. You know, the footage that was available to everybody, the stuff that I was able to see. And I noticed that most of the time that I seen him hitting the mitts, most of the times that I seen him on the bag, he was fighting orthodox. And that might be something. I don't know. I think at some point he will switch. Because 9 times out of 10 he does in every fight at some point. But I think you'll probably see Terence Crawford in orthodox a lot in this fight. I think you'll see Terence Crawford fight orthodox a whole lot. Salute to the brother D Lucky back in that super chat. One more time, he said, Bud just needs to do more moving with his feet early. He doesn't have to throw crazy punches. I say make Porter chase him and counter him. Okay, I like that strategy. But let me talk to you real quick, D Lucky. I like that strategy, but I also want to ask you this. Can Terence Crawford keep that up for 12 rounds if he don't hurt Shawn Porter? You know what I'm saying? Because I would love to see Terence Crawford get out there. Like, when's the last time we seen Terence Crawford just fight off of the back foot and move? He has the ability. The last time I seen it was Victor Postol. That was the last time I seen him really just be mobile for 12 rounds. Just be extremely mobile and, you know, using the jab, being very cautious, very defensive and efficient with his punches, not wasting a lot of punches, but his foot movement was on point and it was very constant. It was extremely constant. And then when he had his opportunities to fight in the middle of the ring, stop, make Victor Postol feel him, let him know he there, hit him with a flurry real quick, he'll get back on his bicycle and continue to box. That was a beautiful strategy in that fight. And the crazy thing is, Victor Postol was the longer fighter. So that was impressive. You know what I'm saying? But when the last time you really seen Terence Crawford do that? The Victor Postol fight. A lot of people feel like since he's moved up to welterweight, either it's the competition where he feels like I don't have to move as much, I'm gonna just knock these dudes out. I really don't think it's the weight. You know, does he just choose to sit down on his punches more? Is it the style of fighter that he's fighting where he's like, all right, I don't have to move, I'm gonna just walk this dude down and turn it up when it's time to get him the fuck up out of there. I think with this Shawn Porter fight, he gonna have to show us that boxing that you talking about, D-Lucky. He gonna have to show us that. But my question is, can he keep it up for 12 rounds? Salute to the brother D-Lucky back in that super chat one more time, man. You going crazy in that super chat, man. Hey, and the next time, bro, you can just drop a regular chat. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, you know what I'm saying? I'll respond to you. But he said, I'm saying that's what he does early. He will walk him down in about the fourth. Okay. I like that. I like that. Okay. I like that. I think in order for that game plan to work, he's going to have to catch Shawn Porter while he's boxing off the back foot. He's going to have to catch Shawn Porter with a mean-ass counter, something significant. He's going to have to catch him with something significant that's going to allow him to change the tide and the pace of the fight. Because if he don't, him coming forward trying to walk Shawn Porter down, it might not work out for him. But I like that strategy. And Jay Harris too real like, man, what's your prediction? You know what I'm saying? Man, fuck all that. What's your prediction? Man, look. I'm going to say Michael Holly in the building. Salute. What's good? Man, it's tough. You feel me? This is a tough one, man. I really didn't want to do no prediction on this shit, man. I really didn't want to do no prediction, but y'all forcing my hand. Bruh. I'm going to say, say this going to be nail biting. Absolutely. This shit right here going to have me on the edge of my seat. I already know. I like Terence Crawford by a split decision. I think it's going to be an extremely close fight, and I think Shawn Porter might lose a close one. You know what I'm saying? Said I haven't predicted either. I can't decide. I like Terence Crawford by a split decision. You know what I'm saying? Or like a majority decision, something like that. And I'm going to tell y'all the difference. It might look close. It might look very similar to the Errol Spence fight with Shawn Porter. And the reason I say that is because Spence won via split decision. And in my personal opinion, even though Spence had he landed the more effective shots, the cleaner shots, he did the better work, in my opinion, in a very close fight. I think the knockdown was the difference in that fight. And I think in this fight, Terence Crawford going to get a knockdown, and that's going to be the difference. I think it's going to be split or majority decision. And it's going to be a knockdown. That's the difference. Now, if Bud can't, and that's why I keep going back, what if Terence Crawford can't hurt Shawn Porter? He going to be in for a hell of a fight. Because I'm telling you, I do not see Terence Crawford just outboxing Shawn and just making it look pretty. Salute to the brother, the soulmates in the building, man. I appreciate you for pulling up. I don't see Terence Crawford being able to just look pretty in there with Shawn Porter. You know, boxing, making it look clean, just landing good clean shots, and everything just flowing beautifully. You know how Terence Crawford normally look. I think Terence Crawford is the best offensive fighter in the sport of boxing right now. You know, and there's guys like Jerron Boots Ennis coming up that's trying to take that crown. But right now I got Terence Crawford as the best offensive fighter in the sport of boxing. You know, but all that pretty offense that you normally see, I don't think you're going to see all that pretty offense in this fight. You know what I'm saying? Especially not from the standpoint of him boxing from the outside, not getting touched, but he touching up on Shawn. I don't see it happening like that. You know what I'm saying? I think this shit gonna be a real war. And if he can't hurt Shawn Porter, I don't really see how he gonna win a decision. That's why I say Terence Crawford by split decision, because I think it's gonna be such a close fight, and he gonna land one of those shots that hurt Shawn Porter, just like Earl Spence did, and that knockdown is gonna be the difference. That's the way I see it going. That's the way I see that shit going. Now, if he hurt Shawn early in the fight, now that could change everything. You know what I'm saying? But I think it might be something that's later on in the fight. Said most tangible or most diverse. Said Boots, the best offense. That boy different. Bud, the best finisher, though. Yeah, man, I think Boots definitely can be, he definitely can be, become that real soon. You know, but I just gotta give it to Terence Crawford because I just seen it on a higher level. Even though he ain't, you know, he ain't fought all the best guys, but he's been doing it the longest. I've seen him do it in different situations, under different circumstances, versus different styles, you know. And I just know I can count on Terence Crawford. When he gets somebody hurt, he gonna finish him. When it comes to just the offense, I mean, that dude, when it comes to just fight instinctively, oh man, Terence Crawford do that shit better than anybody, man. You know, when a fight breaks out and it's kill or be killed, and motherfuckers just stop thinking like that, and it just come down to, oh, we fighting this motherfucker, man, Terence Crawford do that shit better than anybody. Groundworks Entertainment in the building. Salute. What's good? You know, but in this fight, man, I really can't see Terence Crawford just being I don't know. I really can't see him just outboxing Shawn Porter like that. I think he's gonna have to hurt Shawn Porter. And if he can't hurt him, y'all in for a treat. Y'all in for a treat. Salute to the brother Teddy Lee in that super chat coming through and showing love. I appreciate it, my brother. Thank you for your support. 100. Shout out to Snoop in the building. What's good? And said Pastor Keith Thurman. Pastor Keith Thurman. Hey, Keith Thurman did have that. Now that haircut he got now, he really looked like a pastor. But low key, when he had the ponytail, he had that pastor look too. You know what I'm saying? He looked like a pastor pimp. Pastor Pimp Keith. Salute to the brother Richard Dean in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said, great content like always, man. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate that, man. 100. Joseph Hickman in the building. What's good? Said Bud is better than Porter in every aspect of boxing. Everybody just talking about Porter workload. You know what? I think you can say that Terence Crawford is definitely a better fighter than Shawn Porter. If you break it down skill for skill, I think that's apparent to most people, but I wouldn't say in every category. I think Shawn Porter has better feet than Terence Crawford. That's something that a lot of people don't give Shawn Porter credit for. I think he has better feet than Terence Crawford. And small stuff like that, things like that people overlook, can be a huge difference in a fight, because styles make fights. I think Shawn Porter's feet would be huge in this fight versus Terence Crawford. His ability to turn guys, his ability to, you know, close the distances, like change the distances up real quick with feints. You know, he's here one moment and then now he in your chest and now you got to fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Shawn Porter does, you know, I don't think there's many things that Shawn Porter do better than Terence Crawford. I agree with you on that, but there, you know, the first thing I would throw out there is that footwork, man. Shawn Porter footwork is really good. Salute to the brother James Stinson in that super chat coming through and showing love, man. I appreciate it, my brother. He said, peace contender regime. Your boxing knowledge is much appreciated. 100, dog. Thank you. Said this is a weird but competitive fight. I dreamed one knockdown apiece after round 4. then a late stoppage by Bud, it will be a war though. One of them will retire. Damn. Hey man, you really just painted a picture right there. Hey, salute to my brother Ricky Williams in the building as well. Hey bro, you really just painted a picture right there, James Stinson. Damn, you painted a picture for real. Cause I can see some shit like that happening, a knockdown between both guys. And I mean, shit, depending on, you said one of them gonna retire, and you saying Bud gonna get to stop it. So I'm guessing you thinking Shawn Porter gonna retire. And all that shit is possible. Because I mean, after this fight, if Shawn Porter get knocked out, it'll be the first time that he's got KO'd in his career. He's fought everybody, has a great gig in commentating now, got the Porter Way podcast. He's successful, he's fulfilled. He the start of the family. You know, I can definitely see Shawn Porter walking away from the sport if he get knocked out in this fight. If Terence Crawford get knocked out, I don't know. That'll be interesting to see how Terence Crawford responds to something like that. His first loss, and then being a knockout, and then it being that it happening on the first time you step up in competition, like most of the people been saying, like, damn, this is the first time you really on the elite level, especially at welterweight. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I think if Terence Crawford lost in this fight, a lot of things will be revealed about his character. A lot of things will be revealed about his character if he lost in this fight. You know, we'll really see like what type of character Terence Crawford really got. Salute to the brother Jay Harris too, real back in that super chat, coming through and showing love. He said, fuck it, I'm going with Bud. I just really don't want Porter to be known as the one who couldn't win the big ones. I want EJ versus Bud more though. Hey, bruh, I agree with you on that, dog. He said, Nick J said he'll push for that rematch clause. Hey, Jay Harris too real, I agree with you 100%, bruh. And see, look, that's the thing with me. I got to take a sip of that Merlot on that, bro. I had to finish that Merlot off on that, bro. Because you said something right there. That's what's kind of keeping me torn in this fight. That's really why I didn't want to make a prediction. Because, number one, it's a 50-50 fight. And I know both guys have a great chance to win. That's number one. Number two is, if Terence Crawford lose, then that kind of puts the Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fight in jeopardy, which is the biggest fight, the best fight, the most demanded fight in the sport of boxing. I don't think there's a fight that people want to see more in the sport of boxing than Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford. So for Shawn Porter to go in there and whoop on Terence Crawford ass, and then we'll get even another great fight, which is Errol Spence and Shawn Porter, the rematch, which is classic unification. But something deep down inside of me is saying, like, bro, that's not gonna really be the same. So I would prefer for Terence Crawford to win, but I would not be mad one bit if Shawn Porter went out there and got the dub, because he would have deserved it. And he would have worked his ass off to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? And I would actually be extremely happy for Shawn Porter that he was able to finally get over the hump and win the big one versus a pound for pound guy. Because I think he deserved that shit. But at the same time, bro, I would be genuinely bummed about Terence Crawford losing before he fight Errol Spence. Because if he gonna lose to anybody, I want it to be Errol Spence. You dig what I'm saying? I want Earl to put that motherfucking L on his record, to be real with you. But I don't know. I'm torn about this fight. Said if Crawford lose, he'll retire because Bud is a very insecure fighter. Bud is a very insecure fighter. If Porter win, Earl versus Bud is dead. Yeah, it's a dub. I agree. Because then what people go, now I'm gonna tell you this. Y'all remember, go back and look at the last video I made. I told y'all Earl Spence is a sick individual. Errol Spence mentally is a sick individual. If Terence Crawford lost his fight, he still gonna want to whoop Bud ass. Just because a lot of people said that Bud was gonna whoop him. He'll still fight Terence Crawford and go in there and whoop his ass. Just because a whole lot of people said that he was fucking with Errol Spence. He'll do that shit just because. But it just wouldn't be the same though. You know what I'm saying? If Terence Crawford loses this fight, everybody gonna be like, man, you know what? Man, he really wasn't everything that they said he was. You know, oh man, he been hyped this whole time. He didn't fought nothing but bums. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, he really, you know, this why he was staying over there and he re-signed with Top Rank. Oh, he was trying to protect himself. This why he wasn't coming around here fucking with the PBC. Because he knew they had the better welterweights. I'm gonna tell you like this: if Terence Crawford lose, you gonna have people it's gonna be people around Errol Spence that's probably gonna be trying to keep him from fighting Terence Crawford. They gonna have to retain or restrain Errol Spence and like, hey, bruh, no, come on, you don't, dog, ain't no use of fighting him. But I'm telling y'all, Errol Spence will still fight Terence Crawford if he lose. He'll still fight him. That's the type of dude he is, bro. That's the type of guy we dealing with, bro. He will still fight Terence Crawford even if he lose. So, but do the fans still want to see that though? I wouldn't mind it. I don't care what the outcome of this fight is. I wouldn't mind Errol Spence versus. I want to see Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford, period. But if Terence Crawford lose, it does change. Like the sense of urgency ain't there no more. At that point, I'm like, well, Terence, you gonna have to go up to 154 because Earl trying to be undisputed. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, we start talking about a whole nother conversation. So it's a lot of things riding on a particular outcome in this fight. You know what I'm saying? It's so many different scenarios that can go down. Ricky Williams said, do you see Bud calling out EJ if he wins tomorrow night? I don't. And that's what's crazy because now let's say this. To answer your question, my initial thoughts is I don't see him doing that because he's been on record to say, I know they're gonna ask him about it, but he's been on record to say, you know, the Errol Spence fight is behind me. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of chasing them PBC guys. Earl don't want to fight me and this and that. We know that's all bullshit, but at the end of the day, I understand where he's coming from because I told you I don't think all of that is on Terence Crawford. I think a lot of that shit is on Bob Arum and his plans for Crawford as opposed to what Crawford actually wants to do. Same thing with Tank Davis. I think Tank Davis want to fight all these dudes, but Leonard Ellaby and them, they like, hell no, you finna fight the motherfuckers I tell you to fight. You heard Leonard Ellaby, this a business. We running a business. You heard Bob Arum some months ago when they asked him about the Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney fight. He said, we got contracts, god damn it. You know what I'm saying? So they running a business and shit. But I do believe Terence Crawford want that fight. Will he call out Errol Spence after the fight? I don't know. But I will say this though. I know y'all heard about Terence Crawford having somebody go to the WBC convention in Mexico on behalf of him, requesting to be the mandatory for Errol Spence, his WBC belt, right? So with him pulling a stunt like that, I don't know, maybe that's a sign or something that's telling me that he's going to start proactively pursuing that fight. And maybe, you know, if he wins, he'll call out Errol Spence. I don't know. I really just don't see him doing it, though. Because that's really not in his character. Terence Crawford has had ample opportunity to call out Errol Spence after fights. He never does it. People be having to force Terence Crawford to mention Errol Spence. You know, Earl will mention Terence Crawford. You know, he'll say, you know, he'll tell him, look, man, I'm finna whoop this dude. I'm finna whoop this dude. And, oh, yeah, we offered them 60-40. they didn't want no parts of it. So I'm going to keep on whooping these dudes over here, get all the belts on this side. And then in order for me to complete my goal to be undisputed, then I'm going to go fight Terence Crawford. Errol Spence ain't never been shy about telling you what his plans is or mentioning Terence Crawford, talking about how he'll whoop his ass and all type of shit. Errol Spence ain't never been shy about that. But it seemed like Terence Crawford, after fight, they got a pride out of him for him to mention Errol Spence. There's been many opportunities that Terence Crawford done had after beautiful, dominant performances where he could have came out and said, and he fighting on ESPN, remember that, the worldwide leader in sports, the worldwide leader in sports, ESPN, everybody got ESPN. He had plenty of opportunities to say, look, I want Errol Spence, period. If it was really that real as far as that energy, and I don't know if he's been coached to say or not say certain things, but hey, man, if I'm Terence Crawford, I want Errol Spence right now. I don't give a damn. After I just knocked out Mean Machine, give me Errol Spence right now. Don't ask me about shit but Errol Spence. I'm pulling up to every Errol Spence fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm pulling up to the press conferences. I don't give a fuck. What's good? I need that. But I ain't never really just peeped that energy from Terence Crawford. I've always gotten a sense from him that he's like, man, I'll just take whatever they give me. If Bob Arum say, hey, you fighting Jimmy Johns, bet I'm pulling up. I'm gonna get my guaranteed $4 million. All right, I'm there. I don't give a damn who you put in there. I always got that energy from Terence Crawford. That's really why I want him to be his own man and be independent, because he done made enough money. Ain't no reason for him to be, sitting behind top ranking Bob Arum and them. Now he can make his own moves, and now it's time to go get the legacy fights. You done won all the belts. You done been undisputed at 140. You done won titles in 3 divisions. You know what I'm saying? You already got, on paper, you already got a Hall of Fame career. You're 37-0. You could be 38-0 after this fight. You know what I'm saying? Incredible resume on paper. Is just, as far as to the untrained eye, just looking at the accolades and the record, I mean, the shit looks beautiful on paper. So now it's time to just go get the legacy fights. That's a no-brainer in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens, man. But I would love for Terence Crawford to call out Errol Spence after the fight. If he beats Shawn Porter, call out Errol Spence. Let everybody know, hey, this is my last fight with Top Rank. You know what I'm saying? I want Errol Spence. Ain't nothing keeping this fight from happening. Ain't nothing standing between us. I want Errol Spence. Period. And I told y'all, man, Errol Spence, he really ain't got no opponent. Unless they working on some wild shit behind closed doors, which I don't expect, because Errol Spence himself has come out and said, I don't need no tune-up. I only want unifications. We know Ugas most likely has an obligation to fight Stanionis under the regulations of the WBA. And the IBF is going to allow Errol Spence to fight Terence Crawford, or the winner out of that Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter fight. They're allowing a unification as opposed to enforcing a mandatory on Errol Spence. So I think Errol Spence really sitting back and waiting to see what's going to happen tomorrow night. And I think you're going to see the gas being pressed, after tomorrow night. You're going to see what the hell go down. You're going to see, what Errol Spence trying to do after tomorrow night. That's why I say in the next few weeks, the next month or so, we're going to get some information about Errol Spence's next fight. And it's really going to depend on tomorrow night, for sure. Salute to the brother D Lucky back in that super chat, coming through and showing love. He said Bud should invite him in the ring. That's what I'm talking about. He said definitely invite Errol Spence in the ring. Get on the mic and say, hey, just like Earl told Manny ass to come to the ring, hey, Manny, bring your ass up here. No, don't go over there. Bring your ass up here, Manny. Come on now. That's what Terence Crawford should do. But see, Bud he ain't really got that sauce like that. You know what I'm saying? He don't really You feel me? He don't really got that sauce like that. DJ said, I want to watch TV at your house. I watch almost everything that's coming across your screen. You can come over here and watch TV. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's definitely something that I would love to see, D Lucky. But you know, I ain't never really seen that type of energy from Terrence Crawford. He ain't really got that sauce like that. You feel me? Like what Earl did to Manny, he don't do shit like that. But I mean, hopefully he can turn the page. He could turn the page. This the time now, because you gonna be your own boss. You about to be independent. You feel me? You about to be independent. You ain't gonna have nobody to answer to. It's time to turn that page. It's time to turn that page. You know what I'm saying? It's time to turn that page, Terrence Crawford. This is what the people want to see. You go out there and you put on a dominant, amazing performance versus Shawn Porter. You go out there, you stop him, or you just, you win the fight, period. You know Earl Spence gonna be there. It's time to turn that page. This is what the people want to see, man. Now you can really let people see the true Terrence Crawford. We know you reserved and laid back, and that's cool. You a cold-blooded killer. And I like that about you. But now it's time to make that big fight happen. And it ain't all on Terrence Crawford. Earl Spence, he gonna have to play his part too. Earl Spence gonna have to play his part too. I need both of these brothers to come together, man, and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, I need both of them to come together and make this shit happen, man. Get on the phone. Talk about this shit after the fight. Whatever you got to do, make it happen. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. said, watch him, bro. Might steal something. Said, no early stepping in the ring after the fight. Man, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Said, with Earl Spence in the building, Crawford gonna get outside himself and try to do something that he should not. It might cost him. That's possible too. You know what I'm saying? You know Terrence Crawford gonna be trying to impress. Oh yeah, y'all seen the post I made on Instagram where Terrence Crawford, he said that, they using Shawn Porter as a stepping stone because they want to compare me and Earl Spence's performances. You feel me? So I know Terrence Crawford, in the back of his mind, he thinking like, yeah, I got to make a statement. I got to show these motherfuckers I'm different. You know, that could cost him, or it could work to his advantage. Salute to the brother D Lucky back in that super chat one more time. He said, I can't see Earl coming and not stepping in the ring. Hey, for real, bruh. Under these circumstances, come on now. It's only right. It's only right. I'm not going to put everything on Terrence Crawford. Earl Spence got to play his part. Both of these guys, they got to play their part, man. Because this shit right here, this shit really for the culture. This for the fans, this for the sport, and this shit for the culture. This is big, man. This fight huge, bro. Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. All Terrence Crawford got to do is go out there, do his part, win. You know, if he get a knockout, awesome. You know what I'm saying? Make it look good. Do what you got to do, but get the victory. And Earl Spence, I mean, who else he gonna fight? Earl Spence came fresh off the car accident and fought Danny Garcia. You know he don't need no tune-up. You know he don't need no tune-up. You know what I'm saying? He don't need no tune-up. He trying to get straight down to the business. Said, who is they? The WBO. Said, Bud wasn't trying to see Shawn. Said, Bud has a lot of pressure on him in this fight, high key. No, for real. It's a lot of pressure on Terrence Crawford in this fight. No cap. It's a lot of pressure. From all angles. The people that's going to be in the building. The fact that he's fighting the best fighter that he's fought at the time that he's fighting him in his career right now. The fact that this is supposedly the last fight with him on top rank And the outcome of this fight could determine his decision on what he gonna do going forward. It's a lot on the table for Terence Crawford in this fight. A lot. It's a lot on the table. Salute to the brother Jay Harris, too real, back in that super chat one more time. He said Earl going to the fight for a reason. He definitely getting in the ring if they let him. Hey, big facts. That's what I want to see. I don't know who that is outside, man. They out there wrestling or something, man. God damn. But yeah, man, Earl definitely got to get in the ring. I want to hear Terence Crawford call him. You know what I'm saying? Said, don't worry about my super chat. D-Lucky said the same thing. Hey, no, big facts. Man, I'm about to get over here, man. They got folks out there wrestling and screaming and shit. I'm about to step outside. Hey, man, y'all calm that shit down, man. I'm in here trying to do Merlot Fridays. Y'all fucking up the flow. You know what I'm saying? God damn. And I'm out of Merlot and shit, too. Come on, now. Yeah, they out there wrestling and shit, bro. I don't know what they got going on, man. I'm finna get on up out of here, man. But look, hey, man, salute to everybody that came through. Yeah, yeah, being a grandpa. Hey, y'all settle that shit down. Hey, man, cut all that out, man. My old lady in here trying to sleep. Hey, look. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, I appreciate everybody for coming through. Everybody that super chatted, thank you so much for your support. It's greatly appreciated. Everybody that just commented in the regular chat. I always love the engagement, interacting. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that liked the video. Look, if you haven't liked the video already, please go ahead and like the stream. Salute to the Queen Nick J in that super chat coming through and showing love. I appreciate it. Said a little something on your Merlot. Oh, you know I'm finna go pick up a bottle of that right now. You feel me? On behalf of you, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. But look, I want y'all to have a great weekend. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the fight. Hey, it's going down, man. We really about to get some answers to these questions that we've been having. You dig what I'm saying? So look, y'all enjoy yourself. Be safe. Contender regime. Boxing. I'll holler at y'all.